Welcome, everyone. It is Tuesday, noon Eastern. My name is Antoinette, and I am the host of our Women Together session, which is beginning now. So, a warm welcome to all. I see many of us already putting into the chat where we are, which is a helpful way to just say hello and land in our places. I'm standing in what's known as Cortland Manor, New York, Lenape land. And it is wonderful to get together with each of us, with all of us coming together from all of our different places. So I see Lake Oswego, Oregon, sunny New York City, Boynton Beach, Florida, Reno, Nevada, Winchester, Massachusetts, New York City. Wonderful. A few more Ossining, beautiful summertime in Maine. I hope that any of us on the East Coast fared well during the tropical storm that we had this past weekend. I know that we did okay here. I see some from Atlanta, Georgia, sunny and very warm Toronto. So beautiful, just acknowledging that we're all coming from all of these different places and just holding what it means to be human in this time, what it means to be women coming together. And I like to think of this as a circle. So no matter whether we're on Zoom or YouTube or we're just, sitting by ourselves and on our screen, I was talking to a friend this morning who said, just a reminder of the feeling of women together sitting in circle. And I thought of all of you and our time together each week. And for those of you who may be new, a warm welcome to this circle as well. It really is just a way for us to come together as women, or thinking about what is meaningful and important to us, and just centering and grounding and landing. And I don't know about each of you, but I've had bouts of anxiety, I would say, over the last few weeks. And I don't know exactly what it's about. I want to kind of pinpoint it and make a name for it and understand it. And sometimes that's useful and sometimes it's just not. So just noticing that this moment of coming together is a way to just let that go or be with what's here no matter what it is, whether it feels exciting and great, it's a beautiful day, or if there's any of that um, energy that may not feel so great moving through as well. So what we do each week is we do some tiny practices. So just little ways to connect back in with ourselves. We do a little look at a particular topic. This week is on knowing ourselves. And then we connect with each other, which is really the most fun, where we get to chat with one another and connect more deeply to each other. So that's what we're doing here. And we've been doing it every week for the whole pandemic times, pretty much. And it's been really lovely to connect with each other and build this community over time. And we will continue to do it. And just to give you a little sneak preview, we are putting together small circles that we will be doing in October so that you can maintain a circle of the same group for at least 6 weeks. So I know a few of you at least will be happy to hear that, and we're putting together how we're going to facilitate it and how we're going to roll it out. But you can look for that in October. So that's what's coming up. And we'll be bringing in more teachers again as well in September. So we have that to look forward to. But today, maybe we just start with a moment of stillness, a moment of landing, a moment of just being here in the body on this little piece of earth. And we can just connect with our feet flat on the ground if that's available to you. Just noticing the breath, maybe closing the eyes or shifting the attention just inward for a moment. Just feeling the connection of the body on the chair, on the ground. Just feeling this connection inside yourself, perhaps also in the around the heart space, feeling the connection that you may have to each of these wonderful beings who've shown up today with our feet on the same earth and our hearts connected around the world in each of our different places. And I'll ring the bell for just a moment of stillness. So, as you return your energy to the screen, your gaze to the screen, you can pick 4 little boxes if you're on gallery view and just take a look at who's here with us. So, just pick 4 boxes. You can even slide through and just find the boxes that you want to focus on, and really just open a warmth of greeting to each of the people in your 4 boxes that you're looking at. And just if you'd like to give them a smile or a wave, that's typically our human way of saying hello to each other. But just really welcoming in and really seeing who's here, really seeing these 4 people, and just really warmly bringing them into the room, into the circle. Perhaps just picturing yourself with that even small little circle of 4. Just taking them in and welcoming them in here. Wonderful. And if you're on YouTube, you can welcome yourself in, perhaps just welcoming yourself here. And as you join into this space, perhaps considering what brought me here today. So today's topic is knowing ourselves. Today's topic is sometimes the reason that we come, and sometimes it's just the act of being in this Women Together group. So just tuning in for a moment. What brought me here today? What brings me here to this connection with each other? Risa came right in with reconnecting. You can type it in the chat or type it into the comment box if you're on YouTube, and I'll read a few out. So I see reconnecting, the ability to show up just as I am, discovery. I like just taking a break, routine and intentionality, and just to be with other like-minded women, consistency and tiny practices. Beautiful. Trying to beat stress. I haven't been able to attend lately. Welcome back, Patricia. Forgotten how precious this time is. Beautiful. A sanctuary of space outside the chaos of my workday. Welcome, Julia. And the opportunity to hear from and share with other women. Yeah. Kathleen says, flying to see my 92-year-old mother tomorrow, wanting to stay true to myself while back with that powerful woman. Yeah, I definitely hear that on a lot of levels, that as we connect with each other, we can begin to sort of lose ourselves perhaps. And so just figuring out ways to stay true to ourselves while being in connection. Discovery of what I may not yet know. Beautiful. Exploring different points of view. So there are a lot of ways that we hold ourselves in this moment. And so just acknowledging that we bring a lot into this in any moment of being together, but a lot into just this little hour of being together, the next 48 minutes or so. And just recognizing what that can mean to hold all of that within ourselves, but also within each other. And what I'm going to ask you to do is find a piece of paper, which, as you can see me already trying to find my piece of paper. But what I'm going to ask you to do is find a piece of paper to be able to do a little activity together. Often we do some journaling. This is going to be also a guided journaling. And you may have done this before. I do this often in groups. So when I hold workshops or, groups of women in circle, we might have gotten to know each other a little bit, and we do a similar activity. So we're going to do what we can of this activity, and then I invite you to continue to use it as a reflection in your own life. So using it as a reflection in your own life could mean a lot of different things. But the activity is called Johari's Window. And so you may have done it before if that sounds familiar to you. But it's really in the frame of knowing ourselves, what it means to know ourselves, and be able to recognize what we know and what we don't know. Leah said just a moment ago, being with what we don't know yet, discovery of what I may not yet know. And I think that's a big part of knowing ourselves, is being open to what we don't know yet, and finding that. So this is an opportunity to just do a little reflection on that. Bianca says shadow work. Absolutely. So there's both light and shadow. There's often, when she brings up shadow work, I think, for me, that's there are a few bodies of shadow work, but the idea is that as we grow and become and develop, that we have blind spots. And sometimes inside that blind spot, if you think about it as if you're driving a car of life and you have a blind spot, and in that blind spot, there might be a lot of things that you've kept in shadow, things that, were hard to deal with, and you're like, I'm not going to deal with that right now in my life, and so you put it somewhere else. But there's also gold or light in that shadow. So just recognizing that that's coming with us all the time. Our shadow is always with us. So that's, some of what we can uncover, and some of it is what we already do know, and just feeling really comfortable and confident in what we do know about ourselves. And I think sometimes, especially in times of disruption, societal disruption, I know in New York we had this feeling of everything going back to normal, whatever that meant. But, kind of being able to come together again, or, reopen Broadway, or all of the things. And that over the last few days and weeks, we've seen that that may not happen in the way that we might have thought it would. And that, kind of oscillation of how we be together, how we come together, can bring up a lot of perhaps anxiety, or some other feelings. And being able to just say, okay, this is what I do know, this is what I do have, and what I am capable of in those moments, can bring us back to a sense of stability, a sense of self, a sense of confidence, and a sense of resilience. So sometimes knowing ourselves can be, just one little thing that I do know right now. I can stay open to what I don't, but one little thing that I do know. So on our piece of paper, what we're going to do is we're going to actually fold it into 4. So if you have an actual piece of paper, you can fold it into 4. so that you have 4 quadrants when you open it back up. So when you open it back up, you have 4 quadrants. So one line down the middle, one line down the other middle, the horizontal and the vertical. And then in each quadrant, you're going to write, I wish I had a better piece of paper. In each quadrant, you're going to write, here's my new quadrants. You're going to write known knowns. So I'll write them in the chat, but K-N-O-W. So known knowns in the top left quadrant. And then the top right quadrant, you'll write known unknowns. So K-N-O-W-N, U-N-K-N-O-W-N-S. So known knowns on the left, top left, and known unknowns in the top right. In the bottom left, you're going to write unknown knowns. So I'll write that again in the chat. Unknown knowns. And then unknown unknowns in the bottom right. So in the top left, known knowns. I know, just go with me on it. On the top right, known unknowns. In the bottom left, unknown knowns. And the bottom right, unknown unknowns. I know. That's why we called it knowing ourselves, okay? So what the top left quadrant, what we're first going to do is some of those things that you feel clear and confident about. These are the things that I know. I know this about myself. I know how to ski. I know how to give really good hugs. I know how to be a good host, or I welcome people into my home. I know how to show up for a friend in need. I know how to set boundaries with my partner. I know how to, whatever it is. So just those are the top left quadrant. So I'll give you a few minutes or moments to write down your known knowns. Top left quadrant. Known knowns. And then the next quadrant, top right corner, so hopefully you've gotten a few bullet points down, your known unknowns. So I know that I don't know how to. So I know that I don't know how to snowboard. I know that I don't know how to set boundaries with XYZ person. I know that I have a really hard time saying goodbye to people. So I don't know how to say goodbye. I know that about myself. I know that whatever it is. So just write a few examples there. So you can let this one come to a close and just notice for a moment the difference when you're writing the feeling, when you're writing the things that you do know and then writing the things that you don't know. Just noticing that for a moment. And then I'm going to call our attention to the other two boxes and just talk about them a little bit. The unknown knowns, what we would do if we were in a small circle, and we'll do a little bit of later, but what we would do if we were in a smaller circle and we kind of all knew each other a little bit, we would pass our paper around. We'd put our name at the top and pass our paper around. And let's say I got Risa's paper. I might write into that box, in the unknown knowns box, things that I know about Risa, but that she may not have listed in her known knowns and her known unknowns. So I might list things about her that I know that she knows, but she may not realize that she knows. So that she makes everyone around her smile when she walks into the room, or that she lights up, when we share a meditation moment, or that they're just little things that I might know about someone else that they might not even see in themselves. And so that's something that we might write on each other's paper, or about Frances, that she makes us all think just a little bit further than we might have in the first place. And she might not have written that down in her known knowns or her unknown knowns. She might have written that she's a disruptor and that she is gonna, so there are ways that we think about ourselves that we may not actually even see or understand. So that other people see about us. So it's this can be used as a way to uncover certain things. So it could be a way to, if you pass it around to your family, you might get a bunch of different things. And just thinking about what's the feedback that I can get that both boosts my confidence and exposes some of these shadow parts in myself that I might be able to get a lot out of learning. And then this bottom right quadrant, the unknown unknowns. This quadrant we always leave blank, because this is the space where there is a constant room for discovery in ourselves. There's a constant place for us to be okay with not knowing. That's always going to be there. There will always be this bottom right quadrant that will not know, and that things might move into, we might add things to our known knowns or our known unknowns. Others might give us more feedback. I consider feedback to be gold, all of it. So I can either learn how to grow, or I can learn what I really excel at that others see in me. And there's always going to be this box of unknown unknowns. And I think that's healthy to kind of carry that around, this box of openness to what may emerge. So what I'd like to do is just for a moment, take a little meditation and see what comes to us in our unknown knowns box, our bottom left quadrant, and just see if there's any additional wisdom to us there. So what we can do is take a moment of stillness and just land back in the body. I take us up into the head for a little bit, so this is going to land us back in the body. And just tune back into the breath. And just for a moment, I'd like you to invite in someone who really cares about you. So if your eyes are closed, you can just visualize somebody who has really cared about you in your life. It could be a relative. And I just want you to invite them in, perhaps putting their hand on your shoulder or on your heart. Just taking a look at their smile when they look at you. And just seeing if you were giving them that paper, that you were just filling out. These are the things that I know about myself. These are the things that I know that I don't know. If they looked at you and they had something to share for that bottom left quadrant, that when they look at you, this is what they see. Perhaps they have a message for you. Maybe they have a whole bullet point list. And when you're ready, you can jot down, you can feel free to jot it down in the lower left quadrant. Maybe thank them for being with you, knowing that they're there. And you can just jot that down anywhere on your paper, but maybe in the lower left quadrant. Just knowing that we always have that resource, we always have that ability to go inside and to get perspective, to call on the resources of those around us. And what we'll do now is turn to each other. So for those of you on Zoom, we're going to spend a solid 20 minutes together and really just get to be with one another and share with each other what's come up for us. So if you have spent time with these women before, they may have things for you. So I do want to open it up today that they may have things that if you've been in conversation with each other before, they may have something to share about the light that you bring, about the shadow, whatever it may be. And I want to let you open that conversation up with, if you're ready to have that on your paper, if you're ready to have them share that, then you can let them know. Hi, I'm Antoinette. If you have feedback for me, I'm ready for it. And if not, then hi, I'm Antoinette, and I don't think I'm ready for feedback today, but I would love to have the conversation. So either way, whichever is right for you as you go into these chats, we can just connect with each other. And no matter where you're coming from, either way, we have feelings about, what I know about myself or what I don't know, or I feel like I don't know anything in this time because everything's changing. Whatever it is that's coming up for you, just feel free to share with each other. And a reminder that we don't know what the person across from us had for breakfast, let alone where we may be coming from in all of our life experience. So just holding that with care and kindness for each other. And I invite you to enjoy your time together, and we'll see you back here in 20 minutes.